So you want to get more YouTube views and you're wondering, should I clickbait or not clickbait? Today we're going to answer that question right now. YouTube's number one aim is to keep people on the platform and to keep them watching content for longer. If that is the case, then they want videos that are going to push people, encourage people, influence people to watch for longer, and videos that satisfies people's needs. You sometimes feel tempted to use a thumbnail or a description that is not quite representative of the video you're making. That is called clickbait. But when is clickbait not clickbait? The essence of every YouTube video is to provide some information, is to either entertain, educate. You're either in the information or influence business on YouTube. So you're bringing people in, you want them to watch your video, and you want them to watch for longer to get value out of it at the end. So here is the thing. How do you get them to stay connected? How do you get them to stay on your video and to watch right through to the end? Now watch this video and I'm going to reveal when clickbait is not clickbait. Now, the danger in using clickbait is this. When you lure somebody in with a topic, with a thumbnail, with a title, which doesn't quite represent what you have presented or the information, the content you have in your video, then of course, they're going to end up clicking off. And once they click off, then your audience retention is down. Once your audience retention is down, that means YouTube naturally believes or thinks that this video doesn't provide value. And for that reason, YouTube does not recommend it or show it to as many people. Did you notice? The less people YouTube show your video to, then in actual fact, your video is not going to do well. If your video doesn't do well, especially in the first few hours, first day or two, then YouTube might think that there's no point in actually suggesting your video to other people or showing it to more people, because the first people they showed it to didn't quite like it. If people clicked off on your video in the first few seconds, then YouTube seems to think, then, okay, people are not getting value out of this. YouTube's number one aim is to keep people on the platform and to keep them watching content for longer. If that is the case, then they want videos that are going to push people, encourage people, influence people to watch for longer, and videos that satisfies people's needs. I mean, people came to YouTube after all to get something. They came to find something. So if your video doesn't quite deliver on what you promised them in your thumbnail and in your title, then they go off. They go on to the next video. And YouTube ends up not liking your video as much. That is the truth most people don't like to hear. So when is clickbait not clickbait? So say, for example, you were doing a video and you're talking about, say, YouTube advice, and you titled it, "The Best YouTube Advice on the Face of the Planet." The best YouTube advice on the face of the planet. 3 tips to get views and subscribers fast. If the ultimate aim of your video is actually to teach people how to get views fast and how to get subscribers, then of course, even though you may not have necessarily, been entirely truthful in your thumbnail or your title, the overall topic that you covered was actually delivering. And that is where the difference comes in. Now, I'm not suggesting that I'm not suggesting that you should mislead people. But what I'm saying is that, for example, a journalist could be a reporter, and a reporter could be a journalist. So if a reporter said they were a journalist, that is not entirely not true. And if a journalist said they were a reporter, that is not necessarily misleading. Do you get my point? So when is clickbait not clickbait? Now, when you go into your video, when you go to create your video, You go in with a topic in mind. You go in with an idea in mind. And once you've created your video, you come out and you prepare your video, optimize it for YouTube to upload it, and you want to get views. You want to make an impact. You want to create influence with your video. And so sometimes you feel like creating the video or optimizing the video, you're tempted to use certain words, certain keywords to bring people into your video and to get them to watch. And that is where the temptation to use clickbait comes in. But clickbait may not be clickbait if it is what people call positive clickbait. Positive clickbait. Let me give you an example. So if I tell you in my video, I'm going to show you how to maybe draw a cartoon in 5 minutes. Okay? Now I have a thumbnail that says the best cartoon art tutorial in the world. Okay? Now if I brought you in, I'm still talking about cartoons in the video, and you get some value for beginners of how to actually draw a cartoon, and you learn the skills, and you got the right information to be able to create a cartoon in 5 minutes. In my video, I have delivered something of value to you, and I believe you're going to stay right in and watch to the end. So that is not clickbait, but what we call positive clickbait. Okay, let me hear you in the comments below. Have you ever been tempted to use clickbait, and how did it go for you? Now, before I end, let me just make it clear that if you use clickbait, that is essentially against YouTube's terms of service. However, if you use what we call positive enticement, positive clickbait, if you use words, if you use signals that would send positive signals to YouTube and also send positive signals to the viewer, so your viewers and your subscribers love the video and they give positive response to the video, then you're actually bringing YouTube some business, and I'm not entirely sure that YouTube will turn that business away, bearing in mind that you're not actually breaking any rules. So, what should you do instead? Plan your videos in advance. Plan what you're going to say and say what you plan to say. You'll be amazed how much value you're able to give your viewers when you plan your videos in advance. Next thing is study how to optimize your videos properly. If you study how to optimize your videos properly, you will reduce the temptation of luring people with clickbait to get them to watch your videos. Now, it's important that you understand the consequences of clickbait and what it can do to your channel, the fact that it can kill your channel, and avoid clickbait. Instead, use what we call positive clickbait or click-worthy titles. Now, let me make this clear. The word clickbait is actually not a negative term, but it has come to connote a negative idea. Clickbait simply means trying to use words or descriptions or trying to present the viewer or the client, trying to present the viewer with something that would make them more likely to click on a story, an article, or in this case on YouTube, the thumbnail, or something that would prompt the viewer to want to click to watch your video. Now, if you present anything in the process that is intentionally to mislead the viewer to think that the video is one thing which it is not, just simply for trying to get them to click and to watch, as I said earlier on, to watch, they might be attracted They might be attracted and they'll come in and click on your video, but they are going to click off. Bear in mind that when they click off, they hurt your average view duration. One factor which YouTube uses to push your videos and to suggest your videos to others is if viewers click on your videos and they watch for longer, and they continue from there to watch another video and they watch for longer. So your ultimate aim is not getting people to click on your videos, but to watch and watch as long as possible. Now, Mr. Beast explains this in a simple term. He says that if somebody clicks on your video and watch it for longer than another video, YouTube is going to end up recommending your video, because at the end of the day, YouTube wants people to stay on the platform for longer, and that is what you need to look at. The difference between winners and losers on the YouTube space is those whose content are valuable. So instead of doing clickbait, you need to master your art and master the art of offering value. Now, any thumbnail or any video, any creator who uses clickbait is simply telling the audience that the video is not worth watching, and that is why they are trying to lure them to come and watch at all costs, even though they know perfectly well that the viewer wouldn't have clicked on it if they presented them with the actual information about the video. Now, there are a lot of things that we could learn from. There are a lot of things that you could do to make your videos better and to make your videos more discoverable. I'm going to leave a link in the description box to another video which would help you do that. So be sure to check out the description box. Now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Now, if you like this video, like it, give it a thumbs up. And I've decided not to ask anyone to subscribe to any of my videos, to subscribe to my channel in any of my videos. I'm just doing a test for the next 10 videos. Thanks very much, and God bless you if you stayed to the end of this video. God bless you and take care.